Today I'm going to be sharing the insider secrets of how list price on a house actually works and what you as a home buyer need to know so that you get the best deal on a house. I see so many misconceptions about this and so much fear. And it's not just the home buyers. Sometimes it may be the buyer's agent. Sometimes it's the listing agent. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down how people come up with the price their house is listed at, because you'll be shocked in many cases. 2, what you can do as a buyer. And 3, we're going to talk about removing obstacles to your future, because that's the thing. A lot of times these list prices make it so that people don't go after the house they actually want because they're intimidated by the price. So if you're new to this channel, I've been a mortgage lender for 19 years. My team's one of the top purchase teams in America. Why? We work for you. We don't work for the real estate agent. We don't work for the builder. We work for you, the client. So our interest is always what's in your best interest. And in a world of blurry lines where sometimes the home buyers are not getting the best advice, that's why we've done so well. So if you have questions, you want to talk, you want to plan, 786-933-2077. Let's get into it. List price, okay? I'll hear from this from buyers and they're like, well, the house is listed at, and the next thing I always say is it worth it? Well, I don't know. Okay, so let's talk about how home sellers come up with list price. I'm gonna give you a couple different ways that I've seen it over the years. Now keep in mind, since I've been a lender since the dawn of time, I've talked to real estate agents since the dawn of time. Many of my best friends are real estate agents, so we see it all. Okay. First of all, you have the home seller that wants a price regardless of the market. So for this example, let's say on the street they live on, every single house has sold for $500,000 in the last 2 years. Every single house. You know, maybe one's $490,000, one's $520,000, depending on condition. $500,000 is the average of everything that is sold on their street. They want $700,000. And you're like, what? Why? Well, I put in a pool. I redid the kitchen. I have an outdoor kitchen as well. I redid the landscaping. I redid the bathrooms. Here's the thing. Unless all the houses at $500,000 were tear down, you do not get dollar for dollar on what you spent for a house. They have over improved that house for the neighborhood if everything else is at $500K and in decent condition. As a buyer, that's not your problem, okay? So the first home seller is the unrealistic seller. They feel like whatever they've done to the house has made it worth a lot more than the neighborhood. That is not how appraisals work. Appraisers will go out and give some value, but it's not dollar for dollar. So that's very important to note, is that sometimes home sellers just want a price, and sometimes they may not have even done any work. They just don't really need to sell and they want $700K. So could the house get listed at $700 even though it's only worth $5, maybe $520 on a sunny day? Yeah. There's always a real estate agent that is willing to take the risk. Always. Look, real estate agents aren't supposed to list stuff way over what they're worth. But at the same point, they want business. So they're like, oh yeah, sure, let's list it at $7. And I'll hear this from agents. They're like, look, it's totally overpriced, but he'll come down. It's just gonna take time. Their theory is that if they have it listed at this price, at least they've secured the listing and the seller will start to realize their house is not worth $700,000. If you're selling your house right now and it's been on the market for over a year and you're vacuuming every single week and no one's writing offer, odds are your house is overpriced. That's the bottom line. And you're like, wow, so these real estate agents know that it's not going to sell at $700K, but they still list it at that? Yeah. Look, good agents don't do that because a good agent doesn't want to waste their time, doing open houses on a house that will never sell. But an agent that has more time than common sense, they're happy to. They want to do an open house because they're trying to get buyers through it as well. So, number 1, a house may just be listed at a crazy price because that's what the seller wants. Number 2, sometimes you'll have it where a seller, and if you are selling your house, I do recommend that you interview multiple agents. If agents know that you're interviewing multiple agents, you've got your ethicals and you've got your sleazers, okay? That's the two groups, ethical and sleazers. There's nothing in between. Your ethical prepared ones are going to come with like, hey, this is a market analysis. Based on the sales, this is what we think your house is worth. So let's say that he interviewed 4. We're keeping the same guy. His house is worth $525 on a good day. He wants 7. You've got 3 of them saying, hey, look, it's 5. At best, we're going to get $525. Really, it's about 5. Here's our marketing plan. This is what we're thinking. This is how long we think it will sell. But then if this other person knows they're interviewing these other 3, they're going to either say, oh, yeah, you're right. They're just trying to lowball you to get a quick paycheck. And so they say to sellers, all those agents that said the same exact thing, no, their data that was good, that actually made sense, no, that's garbage. They want to lowball you because they want the listing. They would rather the house sits on the market for a while. Maybe they get a lucky sucker, lucky for the seller, not for the sucker, but they would rather the house sits on the market, but they get the listing. Let's say the seller doesn't even know what they want and the house is worth $525. You'll have agents come in at about what it's worth. That's their job, ethical. And then if someone knows they're competing with 3 agents, they may go, oh, what did the other guys say? $525. Oh, they're lowballing you. It's worth like at least $575. Yes, I work to sip in just so that in my real estate impression, they say it's worth more than it is because once again, they want the listing. So the house gets listed at that higher price. You as the home buyer are like, is that what it's worth? And look, there's a lot of home buyers that never question if a house is worth the list price because everybody, it feels like, because I hear this all day long, assumes the list price is reality. The list price is a suggestion. The list price is a wish list. The list price in many cases is a seller's fantasy. The list price may not be what you, the home buyer, a lot of hands, should be paying for this house. Let me say it again. List price is not always reality. Okay, so you're like, ooh, she's passionate today. Must be that caffeine. No, it drives me nuts because what I'll see people where they have a house they really want. They're not going after it because the list price is too high and it's not even worth the list price. So let's talk about number 1. How do you even know what a house is worth? First of all, a good real estate agent will be better at this than you. Let me be clear. At finding out what a house is worth, a talented agent, Heather in New Jersey, Sahar in Houston, Michelle in Dallas, Damon in San Diego, they will be better at coming up with those numbers, okay? Unfortunately, there are quite a few real estate agents in America that don't actually research markets. No, they don't. I had a gal, this one haunts me, and I'm sharing this story so that you can understand the level of stupidity that often we deal with. It was Saturday, I was in an art fair. I like art. And I get this call. Hey, can you tell me what the price would be if the payments were $5,000 a month? And I'm like, what? What are you offering on the house? Well, we don't know what we're offering yet. So I asked them what their max payment they're comfortable with is. And then based on that, that's what we'll offer. What? What is the house listed at? $450,000. And like, I'm sitting there at this art show and I'm like, the math at the time, $5,000 would have been a $600,000 purchase, with taxes, insurance. I'm like, so you're telling me, like, how much are you thinking of offering over appraised value? Well, whatever the 5K payment is. Oh my God. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling me right now that you're going to offer $200,000, not two, $150,000 more than what this house is listed at because that's the max payment they're comfortable with. And you've done no research to see what the house is actually worth. Yeah, but they'll get the house. Oh my God. There was not enough champagne in that art fair to erase that horrific memory from my mind. It haunts me to this day. That was like 4 years ago. Anyways, of course, I called the clients and let them know their agent was not working in their best interest. Because the thing is too, the appraisal was never going to come in at $600,000. It was a BS fake offer. The way the real estate agent was coming up with what the clients should offer was not based on reality, it was based on stupidity. So you need to watch out. I also have had them where like the appraisal comes in low and I look at the appraisal and then I just do like a quick Zillow search. And I'm like, okay, we had one and there was something that just made me feel off. I was talking to the client and this was before the appraisal actually came in and they were offering $200,000. The seller accepted their offer in like 2 seconds at $200,000. And I just went on Zillow for fun and I looked at sold, because you can do that on Zillow. You can look at sold. And I looked at sold and I was like, there's nothing in this neighborhood ever that has sold over $119,000. Like, yes, this one had been updated, but the other ones at 119 had been updated. It had zero chance in a million years it was going to appraise. And I said, hey guys, like, do you want to risk the money? Like, I don't think this is going to appraise. It's up to you. I'm not an appraiser, but just looking at this, I don't see how they get to this price. Talk to your agent. So they talk to their agent. Their agent goes, oh my God, I hadn't looked. I would be hitting my head, but I would pass out by the end of this video if I did. Like, it's just like, oh my God, you're like, really? They didn't look at comparable sales to see if the price was correct before they advised the client to write an offer. No, they didn't. This is not all real estate agents, guys. This is just the bad ones, okay? There's also the agent that goes, oh, hey, well, the seller wants 200, so that's what you need to offer. Otherwise, you're rude. If anyone ever says that to you, please fire them immediately. Just fire them on the spot. This is why if you sign a buyer's agreement, it should be for like no longer than a week until you're comfortable with the agent. It's because of stupid stuff like this. Look, if someone said to me, hey Jen, you don't want to offer less because they'll be offended, I would be like, oh my God, how did I find you? Like, I wouldn't be working with them anymore. It's stupid and it's not true. Here's the bottom line. If the house is worth the list price, write that, if that's what you want to pay. If the house is not worth the list price, don't offer the list price unless you desperately want that house and you want to pay over and you have money in case the appraisal comes in short. So you're like, well, Jen, how do I even know what a house is worth? If you have time, I suggest you do this sooner. You know, when I was looking recently, I had time, so I was able to research multiple markets. And what I was watching in the markets is what houses were priced at and what they sold at. So we weren't even ready to buy yet, but my husband already had a spreadsheet. And what we were looking at is what was the percentage that we're going over, under, and at ask. And for many of the markets, I'm in Florida, we're in a transitional time. There was a lot of aspirational listing prices. Aspirational, AKA the seller is really hoping they get $1 zillion for something that's worth $4 million. So having that data when we started looking was very powerful. Not because people go, oh, did you lowball and get a great deal? It made me recognize when a house was listed correctly so I could move. If a house is listed at a good price, like below what it should be or at the price it should be, in most markets it moves. The only time you don't see it move is markets that are oversaturated, and you could argue that the price isn't right if it's not moving even in an oversaturated market. So by having all this research with the house I'm sitting in now, we saw what it was listed at, we saw the location, we wrote the offer day one, full list price. Full list price, because we had done the research before to go, oh, this is a deal. And guys, it did end up appraising 10% over what we paid for it, and we got the seller to give us a huge closing cost credit. We recognized with the data where we were getting a good deal, okay? But also, look guys, the data made it so on another house that I really liked, and I qualified for what that house was selling for, and I loved it. It was beautiful, guys. The price was so wrong. The price was 40% above what it should be. And, you know, in that case, what people usually go is, well, it's priced wrong, I'm just going to walk away. I don't do that. If the house is listed more than what you want, offer less. So on that house that I'm talking about that I loved, I actually like this house better, so this turned out way better for us. But we did write an offer, and the seller wasn't interested because the seller is waiting for a sucker. I didn't want to be that sucker. But we have many clients where they write less than what the list price is because they write what the house is actually worth and the seller accepts it. Sometimes people are just going for pie in the sky to see if they can get a sucker. So if you think the house is listed higher than it should be, and if you and your agent are like, yeah, it should really be here, offer it. And you're like, well, I don't know, that's a lot less than what they have it listed at. The worst thing they can say is no. I've seen it go both ways. So on that one, they said no to me. But my house in California that I bought years and years ago, we offered less and we got it because it wasn't priced right. We offered less. So know that it can go one of two ways, yes or no, but at least you tried. There's so many people that are just like, oh, it's just priced too high, I'll wait. And then I hear, it sold for what I said it would. Yeah, it sold to someone who was brave enough to write the offer at what the house is actually worth. It doesn't cost you money to write an offer. And if you have an agent that's like, well, I don't want to write that. Why? Show me the comparable sales, why you think it's worth what they want. Oh, well, yeah, it's worth less, but they'll never take it. Really? Are you in their bedroom at night? Do you talk to them? Do you know everything that's going on in their life? No. Do you know every seller in America? No. Are all people the same? No. Write the offer. Write the offer. Okay? Now, here's the next thing. Let's say the house is listed at a fair price, but you don't want to pay that much for the house. Should you write an offer? Yes. Yes. If the house is listed for more than you want to pay, write the offer at what you want to pay. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, sometimes they say no, and a month later they call your real estate agent to see if you're still around. Now look, if you're in a hyper-competitive market, this is unlikely, but most of the country is not hyper-competitive right now. So if you want a house at a specific price, and even if it's priced fairly, but it's not moving, write your offer. The worst thing they say is no. And let me tell you, as someone who's had no said to them many times in life, who cares? Get over it. Move on. Onward and upward. Always. Onward and upward. Shoot your best shot. Doesn't get it? Go on. With that house, the one that was so beautiful, I shot my best shot. I didn't get it. I ended up with a better house that's way less expensive. The only difference is I had to do a little remodeling here, whereas there I wouldn't have. I'm still in the green. Okay, so overall, the point of this video is that listing numbers are made up in many cases, and whether they're made up or not, you write an offer you're comfortable with. And if something doesn't feel right and you're like, I feel like my agent's just pushing me to buy this house, they could be, guys. The sad fact is over 60% of real estate agents closed less than a deal last year. They're not experts. Not all of them. There are some true experts, guys, that really know markets, but not all agents are experts. So don't believe they are, okay? I hope this video is helpful. Questions, comments. If you want to work with a mortgage lender that is all about you and is not afraid to say the stuff like offer less, like what are they going to do? Bite you? Give me a break. Give us a call, 786-933-2077. The reason I specified we work for you is because I'm just going to end with this. If you got this far, sometimes a real estate agent will recommend you to a lender, and if the real estate agent is telling you to write a specific price, that lender that they recommended you to is rarely going to tell you to go against the real estate agent. And you're like, even if they know it's wrong, yeah, why? That's where they get their food, people. That's where they get their food. Our food doesn't come from real estate agents. It doesn't come from builders. Our food comes from you guys coming directly to us. We are loyal to you. So I hope this video is helpful. And once again, reach out, questions, comments. If you want to get pre-approved, we can help you across the United States. Thanks for watching.